I'm going to teach you how to design a web page, but then I'm also teach you strategies for driving buku traffic to your site. Okay? All right? All right. I want you to know this. 75% of all decisions are made at the headline. Did you know that? Listen to this. 75% of the buying decisions are made at the headline alone. When you look at marketing, you got to have a headline, right? Now, think about this. When you do a search on the search engine and the results come back, what do we usually see? The blue line, the black text, and then the what? The web page, right? www. Right? That's how it's searched. And what's the first thing you look for? You only read the blue line, right? Yeah. And then when the blue line, if you don't like it, you go past the blue line. Oh, the blue line is what catches us. So what we got to do is set up titles. Now, a lot of people, when they set up their websites, don't use titles. So this is the anatomy of a good site. I'm going to show you, I want you to write all this down, and then I'm going to show you examples of good and poor websites, okay? So, I'll describe these, just write them down. I'll describe them once we get into the show and tell, okay? I can't guarantee you that if you do these things, you'll be ranked high, but I will guarantee you, if you don't do these things, nobody will find you. Okay? That I could guarantee. So now, the headline, 12 words or less, and the keyword should appear in the headline at least 3 times. Description, 30 words or less, the keyword should appear 2 times. By the way, for the folks that left already, they're missing all the juicy part, because this is where it comes. Because you can have the websites and all these tools, but if you can't do this, you're done. Pictures with meta tags or alt tags, alternative tags. Pictures with alternative tags. Hyperlink. Just write content text. I'm going to explain all this. Linking strategies. Inbound versus outbound link. Keyword content density. How often the word appears on the page. Prominence. Where the word appears in the page. Where it appears. And then we'll talk about relevancy. And again, these things are easier to show than to tell. Okay? But the top 5 are the biggest keys right here. Headline, description, picture with tags, hyperlinks, linking inbound. So now, after this, when you look at a site, you'll look at a site differently. Okay? You guys almost done? I need you to write fast. Write fast, write fast. All right, got a 30-second countdown going here. 30 seconds, you better write. I mean, what are you guys doing? Writing with the other hand or what? Come on. Right? Right. We have to be able to read it tomorrow. There you go. Just do hand puppets or something like that. Hey, describe them. All right? No. All right, 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, at least I know you want to write it down. All right, so meanwhile, I'll tell you my squirrel story. Everybody knows my squirrel story already. Who knows my squirrel story? Brandon knows my squirrel story. All right, here's my squirrel story. All right. So, thank you. I can't even tell my story now. All right, I lived in Minnesota. How many people from Minnesota? That's what I thought. And now, do you know that in Minnesota there's a lot of squirrels, right? A lot of squirrels. And so I had a neighbor, his name was Harold. And Harold was one of these guys who's like 80, 90 years old and retired. And his hobby was to put bird food on the trees, right? But we had so many squirrels that the squirrels would always eat the food, right? So Harold one day decided to like grease up the base of the tree, right? The whole thinking being that the squirrel wouldn't be able to get up, right? Well, next couple of days, what happened? Squirrel got the food, right? So the next thing he tried was to put, like, you've seen these things, aluminum around the base of the tree. Yeah. Have you seen those? Again, the philosophy being, couldn't climb up. But a couple of days later, guess what? Squirrel got the food, right? And one time he put one of those funnels, you know, the dogs have, so they don't bite each other. Well, he turned it upside down, facing downward, with jagged edges. Apparently, he was getting desperate, right? Next few days, guess what happened? Squirrel took it. Now, the last strategy he tried that was interesting was he tried to put the bird feeder all the way at the end of a branch, thinking that the weight of the squirrel wouldn't be able to sustain it, right? But again, the squirrel got the food, right? So now, Harold died when I left Minnesota. He died, he had emphysema, smoking. And I still remember driving away. The bird feeders are still there. And I look back, and there's still squirrels going at it, right? Now, my question to you is, why was Harold never going to be able to beat the squirrel? Why? Why was the squirrel always going to win? Persistent. I'm looking for a keyword. Focus. You got to understand, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365, the squirrel is thinking, how do I get that food? Right? Now, I'm telling you now that if you sit here and you focus on how to make money on the internet and you go, I'm going to figure this out, you're going to make money on the internet. But you got to be focused, okay? Just like the squirrel. All right, now, here we go. Now, let me see. I'll do that later. Now, let me show you my website. And I'm going to point out everything to you so you can see it. Now, remember we did the Hispanic speaker? Okay. Let's look at the anatomy of a site. Okay. Let's now look at the first result. What word do you see in the blue line? Hispanic. By the way, where is that word Hispanic at the what? Beginning. Because I told you it works in the domain name. Do you think it works in the title? Yes. Yes. So that's your title, your blue headline. Get it? Yeah. Got it. Now you see the black text? Yeah. You see the word Hispanic in there? Yeah. It's in the black text. Most people design a website don't know how to put a description into their website. Does that benefit us? No. Damn right it does. Because if they don't know how to do it, that's their problem. Yeah. Right? We do. Right. So the other thing is the word Hispanic in the website, in the web domain name. Yes. Word Hispanic is at least in there. Get it? Good. Now, if you go into my sites, let me see which would be a good one to show you. Let me go to victorgonzalez.com because this is all about... Now, what I'm about to tell you, you're going to look at me like, how would you know that? Okay? But I'm telling you, I know it. No, it doesn't depend. Let me show you the logic of success. This one gets the most traffic. Here's the logicofsuccess.com. Okay? Now, by the way, it's stretched because of the way I have the screen set up. You see these things on the left? What are those? On the left? To what? Article. You see that? So let's say the first one's called the Leadership Memorandum, right? Do you think people should search on leadership a lot? Yes. Yeah, big time, big time. Yes. Now, there it is, the leadership. By the way, did you notice all the way up in the blue in the corner? Oh, leadership. See that? Yeah. That's where the title usually appears. The next time you click on a blue link, that blue link is what you'll always see at the top. Every time. So this page is geared towards generating traffic from what keyword? Leadership. Yeah, right? So I also put it in the what? Hold on a second. Now here. You see the hyperlink? Over there. On the left. You see the hyperlink on the left? It says Leadership Memorandum. So, logic of success. Look at the Leadership Memorandum link. Why did I put a picture there? Why didn't I put a picture on that link? Why didn't I just put a cute picture that you can click on?
Because it's too big, it can't read it.
It's too big? No.
Because the search engine can't...
That's right. We know that the search engines can't see graphics, right? But we also know that it can read text. And it loves the keywords in the hyperlink. It loves the keyword in the hyperlink. So if you could put in your hyperlinks the keywords, you're golden. More brownie points for the search engine. See what I'm doing? This site generates about, I think, 150 unique visitors a day by itself. Okay? The logic of success. And I can show you what the data looks like. But anyway, do you see what I mean? So that's how you design your links. So the more links you have with your keywords in it, the more brownie points you'll get. Because the search engine sees code. Now, it also sees that that link goes into what? Into another link, right? It's called an internal link. It goes into my website. It loves internal links. Okay? So what it does, now let me run the whole simulation. It comes to the website. Is this about leadership? Kind of. I think so. It runs across that link and it says, hey, here's a leadership hyperlink. Let me follow it. Clicks it, follows it. It actually looks at the page that we clicked on and it had leadership on top, right? It also had what? It also had the word leadership throughout the article. You see that?
Yeah.
The leadership memorandum. We can go through the whole thing. Do you see the word leadership?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Do you see the word leadership? There. See that? Okay. Do you see the word leadership there?
Yeah.
Do you see it there?
Yeah.
Do you see it there?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Is the word, so this, what is the search engine thinking? This is a great leadership site. Okay? So now that's how a search engine thinks. So if you're designing a site, it should have the keywords and links coming in with the keywords. That's how I design my sites. It's very simple. Now, my sites aren't beautiful, but they're optimized, they're efficient, and they're easy to read. You don't have to wrestle with my site. Now, by the way, always put your links on the left, your hyperlinks on the left, because search engines read from left to right. I know, you got that look like, how the hell would you know that? Because the way the code is written. If you read the code, the HTML code that's behind it, it's written from left to right. So you always put your major links on the left. In other words, instead of putting, I could put these article links on the right-hand side. These, over there on the left-hand side, I could put them on the right. But I don't, because I know the search engine always comes in from the left.
Yeah.
That's why you put the links on that side. Get it?
Got it.
All right. Now, you saw the headline, right? So when somebody does a search, you see the blue line, right?
Yeah.
Now, by the way, just to prove my point, look at this. I click on that. Now, look at the top. Was that the same title as the blue? Let's go back. The first one right there. See that? Hispanic Latino Success Magazine, right? You see it? Just memorize that. When I click here, there it is. If you look at the blue line all the way at the top, see it? It's the same thing. It's the same thing because that's what the search engine looks for. Notice it also cut it off about right here after Victor Gonzalez, which means it only takes so many words.
So you click
But I got, yeah.
first, and
Yep.
that then shows up at the
Yep, you got to do that, and that's what now the search engine comes to the site, looks at your title, Hispanic, goes into the actual domain name. Guess what? Hispanic again. Comes into the site, and Hispanic email. Notice that little thing right there that nobody notices? It says, from America's top Hispanic motivational speaker. How cocky of me, right? How cocky.
Why is this
As my mother says, so atrevido. So yeah, how cocky of me, right? But by the way, what do I put it there? Because it has the word Hispanic motivational speaker, but I put it small. What's that?
Why is Hispanic important?
Why is Hispanic? Because if you're searching for a Hispanic speaker, and that's the market, yes ma'am, and I'm looking for people who are looking for that. That magazine is designed for people who type in Hispanic or Latino speaker, period. Right here, hold on.
That blue line, are you creating that from the Properties tab with the application that you're using to create your webpage?
No. So you know how, you get it. Because depending on the program you use, it'll tell you to enter the title, right?
Right.
Okay, some programs will say, like, I think the GoDaddy software will say, enter the title here, right? Now, when you use front page, I use front page, by the way, did I mention that? No. I use Microsoft front page to design all my websites, and it took me a while to learn front page, but I'm telling you, it's been worth its weight in gold. When you're programming it in front page, there's a little title tag that you can enter it in the code, in the actual HTML code. But you know what's really cool? For those of you who know programming, this will mean something. For those of you who don't know programming, just ignore what I'm about to say. What you do is you go to the Internet Explorer, right? You bring up the highest ranked website you can, right? You know where that little button that says View Source? You can view their source code. I copy it. I always find the best ranking websites and I look at their code behind it and I go, that's how you did it. And it's like, most people don't know how to do it. And I just, you know, it's another class, another day. Yeah.
Control option.
What's that?
You put a title on each of the pages of each of the menus.
I put a title on each. I put it on my home page, has a title. You're right. Good question. Do I put titles on each of my pages? Yes. I create Hispanic business, this one main side, right? if I want to create a leadership subpage for my leadership article, I put Hispanic leadership, right? And the hyperlink should be something like Hispanic leadership. Do you see how it trails down? And again, this website is just for the terms Hispanic and Latino. Okay, that's it. That's all I use this site for. Why? Because September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic month. Don't ask why we split it up into 2 months. We just can't put it in one. You know. It's, you know, I don't know.
Here's another point.
The thing is, they split it up, and what happens is that the previous 2 or 3 months before that, people start calling me to book me.
That's right.
And so because they're booking me, they start typing in Hispanic or Latino speaker. Now, by the way, I don't care what you call me, Latino, Hispanic. Do I have a preference? Yes. There's something about Hispanic and having the word panic in it that I don't like. So, so you decide, okay? So it doesn't matter. But you can call me, just don't call me late for lunch, okay? Good. So as you see, so what happens is, by the way, you want to see my hood where I was raised? Look at, I got pictures from the hood. This is the house we lived in that was about, I don't know, about a few blocks from Cabrini Green housing projects. By the way, there's one that has the rats, where the rats would come in. It's kind of, oh, you can't see it. You got to go to the website to see it. You can't really see it. But let's just say those garbage cans, the rats would come up the window, and actually, a couple died in the piping. Super, oh yeah, when they died, you couldn't get them out, by the way. By the way, now, I want to mention several things. Oh, by the way, can I show you something cool?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to show, again, no, this is like really cool. Okay, this is like, did you know that I have my own gear? My own Hispanic success gear? Check it out.
All right.
That's right, this is how I roll. Yeah. Look at that. That's how I ride, man. Look at that. That's right, man. Now, by the way, do you want to know how I did that? It took me about 20 minutes to do. You want to know how to do it? Yeah. I ain't showing you. No. I'm not going to be mean. Let me see. I haven't used this one in a while. Let's see if I hope it's still there. Because, how many have heard of Cafe Press? Yeah. Right? Raise your hand if you heard of Cafe Press. Cafe Press, just what it says right there. CafePress.com. What it'll allow you to do is pick clothes, put any logo you want on it, and you have your own clothes, lining clothes. Yeah, that's right. They call me V Diddy. Okay, so I got my own line of clothes. So that's right. So, by the way, it's one of those. It's one of those things that I was trying to experiment with it, just to see if it would work, and it's just kind of cool. I keep it there because people are like, "Got your own clothing?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, absolutely." By the way, and then I have this is the Hispanic Report site. It has every Hispanic link available to man.
Fabulous.
Right?
Great.
Guess who owns the site? You. Well, who's the only? Look at that picture of that. It's me. By the way, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Certified by Mr. Goodwill. That's right. That's an outbound link. That's right.
Victor, you're going to have to pay me to be quiet.
Yeah, I know. I gotta. So anyway, I guess I'm showing you too much, am I? Right here. Question. And then I'll come here. Okay.
I don't know if you will talk about this later, but just so you don't forget, how do you put the link
Wait, guys.
between the other pages? So visible or in the code source?
How do you put the links in the actual code? It depends on the software you're using. Okay.
You said that you always say visit Victor Gonzalez or visit my
Right.
other one.
Right.
Okay. Do you put it visible?
No, this is the main site. I use different ways of doing it. For example, here, if you click on this site, you see that link right there? Because people will click on a picture, but when you tell them to visit something, they don't want to do it. So sometimes I put it in an icon, or an article says, hey, here, get this free article at, and then people click on it. I try to find something to draw their interest to make them want to click on it.
But that's for the people. But what I was meaning is for the search engine.
Right.
Is something to ask the search engines to go to your other websites?
No, 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 no. It will, no, the way the search engine, the question is, how do I get search engines to visit my other websites, right? Each website I design, I optimize to rank high by itself, okay? Whether they all come back to VictorGonzalez.com, doesn't matter. They eventually get there, okay? But each page is designed specifically for certain keywords, okay? So if the question is, do I put something in the search engines? I use, you know what the alternative tags are. I think we talked, right? So the alternative tags are tags that you associate with that picture. Have you ever seen it? You know what an alternative tag looks like? Yeah. Some of you do. Here, let me. What you can do is go into a website, and who has a website they want to mess with? Well, let me try this one, because I think I talked to this gentleman, and it's this one right here, the Walk Company, right? And we looked at this site. Now, by the way, now you should start seeing some things here. On your title, you saw walks. Look where you got walk. Is somebody going to search on Eleanor Ho or walk?
Oh, wow.
Walk, right? So you want to put the Chinese walk towards the front. Okay, that's the first thing. These are alt tags. See this? Watch, I'm going to mouse over the picture and a tag is going to pop up. See? It says Ho Walk Mei logo. Does that pronounce right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but look at this. So this is good because it has the word walk in it, right? And that's called an alternative tag. And that, again, what you do is you program it with your software. It says, here's the picture. What's the tag, the text associated with the picture? Remember, it can't read it, it can't see a picture, right? So you have to give it text to tell it what it is. And so what you want to do is put your keywords in your text. But I'm not answering your question. One more time.
Just wanted to know if there was a trick to make the search engines going from one site to another.
From one site to another. The answer is no. I don't have a trick for it. But if you have one, I'll take it. Okay? I'm more than happy. Let me get this one here, and then we'll go back there.
Going back to the site that you were before, the Hispanic Success.
Yep.
Do you have that available in Spanish or like a translator or?
No, one of the things you can use is you can use the Babelfish translator. Do you know what that is?
What is it?
It's something called altavista.babelfish.com. And then it just put it on your website. It's a little code, and it translates the whole page for you. Babelfish.com. Hold on, I can only do one at a time.
You don't have any web pages in Spanish?
No, not yet. Because the majority of searchers here in the United States, 70% of all Hispanics search in English. Isn't that interesting? 70% of all Hispanics search in English.
Sometimes you have words that you don't know how to say in Spanish.
And you flip them, yeah. The thing is, I mean, you're absolutely right. The thing is, I finally got translating the book in Spanish for the first time. Give me a break. Okay, let me, hold on. Back here.
Well, I was only going to comment. As far as I know, the technology, when Spider comes to visit your site, if you have a link to another one of your sites, it will go to that site.
Yeah, I mean, it works through the site. So it'll come down, scroll, and it tries to look at the links. It tries to see where it's going. So, by the way, you can count your links. Have you used Alexa to look how many links you got? Do you know what? All right, here. I'm going to give you a gem. All right, and I got to get cruising here. I'm showing you stuff I shouldn't be showing you. I'll give that to, by the way, it's on the MrGoodWeb.com, and I'll give it to you afterwards. And it's about Alta Vista, the Babelfish, and I'll give that a link. By the way, if you want to find out who links to you, the easiest way to find out is this. Type in link and your website. Type in link and your website, and it tells you everybody who's linking to you. Okay? That's how you find it. Link, domain name. So it'll give you about, this one has 279 pages linking into it. Right here. See? So link, that gives you the page name if you want to know. There's other tools, but again, guys, I got to cruise through the more important stuff. This is just like this, the little things.
Which are basically your affiliate agreements?
No, hold the thought. I'm not going to do the affiliate right now. Just hold that one. No affiliates. All right, so by the way, I'm going to show you a simple trick to drive traffic to your site and get business in your area. This is so simple, but yet so overlooked. It's awful. It's called geomarketing. Okay? Yeah. It's easier just to show it to you. Okay? But this is so powerful that if you get it, you'll get traffic. But nobody really implements this. Now, I wanted to, remember I told you I was doing a sales training program? So I typed in sales trainer. I popped up some new sites, and I wanted to see if I would rank high. Do you think I ranked high?
Yes.
No. So what I did was I said, I'm not ranking high. with this site. It's highly competitive, and I looked through all these presentations, all these, nothing, nothing, nothing. But then I added 2 magic words. What were they? City and state. Then I just said Atlanta, Georgia, and now I'm number 2 and 3. So on this one, that's mine also. That's the cold calling system. That's mine. And that one's geared for sales training for people who do a lot of cold calling. Okay? And then here's the sales asylum. Are you starting to believe me now that I have 22 websites? Yes. Yeah. Okay. And so, but notice that all I did, and this one shows it easier, hold on. All I did was add up here in the title, all I did was add Atlanta, Georgia. Because when people look for speakers or trainers, they don't want to fly them in. That's right. So if you just add Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, that's all you need to do. I went from not getting ranked to now being second and third. That little tip right there, if you implement it and you have a service industry, you're golden. For example, if you're a dentist, would you agree with me that you can't pull a tooth through the internet? So all we want, right, so all we want, so all we want is what? Local business, right? So that's how you use it. If you have a service that's localized, that's what you do. 2 words will make a difference in the search engines. By the way, do people look by city and state? Yes. Every time. You do it, right? Yes. And nobody else comes up that way. That's a hot tip. Yes. Hotter than the one else before that. All right, here we go. Now, let me see. Oh, I got to show you this stuff. By the way, you realize that my website, Victor Gonzalez, had a bunch of articles. You notice that? Yeah. Do you notice it had a lot of articles? Yeah. Because what do the websites want? Content, right? Yes. Now, so I got about, I think it's close to 100 articles now. They're all on the right-hand side. I know what you're saying, Victor. You said don't put them on the right-hand side. Trust me, there's a strategy. But I don't want to get into this one. I put them on the right-hand side. These are all the different, again, see that? Economics of the good life redefined. Doesn't that sound elegant? Hey, okay. So.
Did you write all those articles?
Yeah. She goes, did I write all those articles? Yeah, I wrote all those articles. But I got to show you something. So we agree that content is important on your website, right? By the way, when I write the articles, I just, like all of us, we get an idea on a topic, and we just write, don't we? And just write, that's all. Now, I'm going to show you a serious secret weapon, okay? There's something called Article Marketer. Shh, Marketer. Shh. Don't tell anybody else outside this room. Did you know, let's say that you had an article and you wanted to blast it out to all the search engines and all the article portals out there. You know what article portals are? People that just collect articles. You want to blast it out? Do you know they'll do it for you? For like $49 or something? And you can use it as often as you want. Now you're probably saying, Victor, why do I need that? Well, it hits on our last strategy. If you blast out your articles and it goes into all these article portals, or other websites pick up my articles also, what are they creating back to me? Because they always give me what? A link back, right? So, no, not just straight link backs. So these are all articles, and if I got links coming back to me, what does that tell the search engine? I'm an important site. So what I do is I blast out, use the blaster, I call it, to send out all these articles. People post them on their webpage, and then they start driving links back to me. Right? Because they got to put the byline, right? At the bottom, they always put a byline. Article written by Victor Gonzalez at www, blah, 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 right? It creates links back to you. Yeah. Articlemarketer.com. Go look it up.
And it's $49 for one-time fee?
No, there's different fee rates, but you might want to consider it, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to submit my article to all these different sites, okay? Now, real quick. When you talk about optimization, these things are called relevancy-based search engines. Yahoo, Google, all these are relevancy-based search engines. By that I mean they boost you up depending on what? Your relevancy to that keyword, right? Your relevancy. The problem is you can build a website today. It may take 2 weeks to 6 months, okay, to get indexed into the actual engine. Now, because you're here and you know how to do it now, it shouldn't take you 6 months. But people who don't know the stuff we're discussing, It'll take them 6 months or they'd never get indexed. Now, by the way, the way to find out if you're in the search engine, you know the search box? Just type in your website, www.com. If it doesn't come up, you got problems. Okay? So I want to talk about bid rank, pay-per-click search engines. And we got to do this a little quick, but I want to get into it. Pay-per-click is just as implied. You pay per click. The way it works is this. How many of us have been to an auction? Right? Or you've seen an auction, right? Yeah. You know, so people bid, right? They bid. In pay-per-clicks, what they do is they bid to be what? Number one on the search engines. Right? So they bid to be number one. So what you do is you open an account and then you bid. And if somebody's in the first position, you can actually bid to take over the first spot. So if they're at 50 cents, you can bid what? 51. It's all in penny increments. 52. If I want to be, you get the idea, right? Open an account. Now, I want to introduce you to a tool called Overture. Right? Now, before I go, raise your hand if you know what Overture is. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got, okay? 5, 6 people only know about Overture. Yet, it is one of the most popular bid rank search engines out there. But most people don't know what it is. So I'm going to show you what it is. You got to open an account. I think it's a $50 minimum to open an account. Now, every time somebody clicks on your link, it's going to cost you something. Okay? The minimum bid is 10 cents. Now, I know you people don't like paying. Because last time I said, when you pay, you're like, oh, Victor, no. You know? But if I can show you how a bid should cost you nothing, would you be happy? Yeah. In other words, if you gave me 10 cents and I gave you $1, is that a good deal for you? Yeah. Okay, that's what it should be. People who know how to use the bid search engine always bid on terms that will make them money. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'll show you what this tool is. And then I won't go into that. Let me just show you what it looks like. And this is Overture. And let me do the inventory first. We typed in walk. We were talking about walks, right? Yeah. Now, this number, let me tell you what it represents, and I'll explain it to you. I typed in walk, and you see that 6,465 on the left? Yeah. Trust me, it says 6,465, right? Yeah. I want you to take that number and multiply it by 4. And I'll explain it to you later. Okay? So now that's about 25,000, right? What that number tells you is that last month, an estimated 25,000 people typed in the word walk into a search engine, looking for a walk information. Okay? I'll explain the multiply by 4 later. China walk, 2,000. Multiplied by 4, it's 8,000. Last month, 8,000 people typed in China walk. Okay? Now, what this tool tells you is what people are actually typing into the search engine to find your stuff. Now, remember I told you you had a great idea, you want to implement it, and I told you not to ask your family or your friends, right? Right? You remember that? Because you need a tool that will tell you if there's a demand out there, right? This tool will help you determine if there's a demand. Somebody here give me a physical product they're selling.
Silk bedding.
Silk bedding. Let me go with silk bedding. So you have the idea that you want to sell silk bedding. So what we'll do is we'll go in there and see how many people last month looked for silk bedding. Okay?
What page is that?
Just relax. I'm going to get into it. Man, you guys are a rough crowd. You got to trust me. Have I held back any information? No. Damn, well just wait till I get there then. If I don't give it to you early, it's because I'm taking you there gently. Okay? Now, by the way, 1397, 1,400 times 4 is what? 5,600. 5,600. So last month, 5,600 people were looking for silk bedding. You multiply silk dupioni bedding, I don't know, 163 times 4. So this tells you what combination people were looking for, okay? And so that tells you right now how big your market might be on the internet. That tells you how big your market might be on the internet. So right now, if you're silk bedding, you got to make a decision here, right? Before you even get into the business, because you're saying, that's 5,600 people estimated. By the way, you're not going to get all that traffic all the time. You might get a percentage or fraction thereof. Is that enough to sustain my internet marketing business? And if the answer comes back a resounding no, then move on to the next. But here's the good thing. If you have the idea, you use this tool, before you spend a dime, you'll know if there's a market, and you don't have to ask your family members. My man.
What's a good number, though?
It depends. Yeah. By the way, because if you have and I'll get to you, if you have let's say you're selling diesel trucks, right? You're selling diesel trucks. And if you just sell one diesel truck, you'll make a $10,000 commission, right? So if the traffic is low, all you got to do is get one, right? But let's say that you got that traffic, and at most you'll make $1 out of each thing you sell. That's not enough traffic, is it? So that's kind of the balancing act you got to think about, okay? My man.
Does it work the same thing when you're selling services?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So
Speaker is funny, why didn't you put, because I did it.
it did it by itself. Just ignore. By the way, after this, I'll let you guys come up here and answer your words and play with it. You know, so just relax. We're going to do you, okay? Boy, that came out so wrong, didn't it? Hey, we've spent, what, 6-7 hours together? You can take it. All right. So mortgage. So mortgage. Kevin's going to leave me. He's like, I'm not doing anything. Oh, I knew the link had to die sometime. Well, okay. By the way, I'll go back to that, but can I show you something else? Yeah. If you want to see what people are bidding for the top clicks, you can come here, type in silk betting, put in the code 8MJC, bam. Okay. Show me love. There it is. By the way, to be in the top position, all you got to do is pay 75 cents. To be in the top position. I'll show you what this all is. In other words, if somebody clicks on that link, what does he have to pay? 75 cents. Now, 75 cents. Now, at one time, I had some silk betting. I didn't really like it. Let's see if the website, you see that website? What did I just charge them? 75 cents. Yep. You know, something about silk that bothers me. Maybe the rashes. So wrong. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. By the way, my favorite is this one here. I like doing this one here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is what I do to people who I don't like. Watch this. By the way, my printer, my HP printer broke down. Broke down. Did I tell you it broke down? Damn printer broke down. Is that wrong? Is that so wrong? Oh, that's so wrong. I know. By the way, did that scare you? Did that scare you? Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. See, the system knew there'd be deviants out there like me to do this, right? So what they do, you can only click on it once every 24 hours. By the way, somebody came up with a software. Here's the title of the software. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Who's clicking who? So, by the way, they only get charged one time every 24 hours, so don't panic. I know what you're thinking. But by the way, it's great therapy. All right, now, by the way, I got to, okay, so let me show you what this is. Ready? All right, guys, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. Okay, now, guys, look. I want you to go over to something called overture.com, okay? And I'm going to show you what this is, because there you can get the keyword selector tool and the bid tool, okay? That's where you get it. See the keyword selector tool? You go in there, you have fun. You can open up an account with Overture and begin to bid 1, 2, 3. Now let me show you where they show up. You've seen them, but you just didn't know what they were. So let's put this away, overture.com. If I go to Yahoo, and remember I typed in, let's say, I don't know, again, I'll do Hispanic speaker. Did you notice who was at the, did you notice these results on top? These first two with the dots. Yeah. See the first two with the dots? What does that say right there? Sponsored results. What does this say right here? These are sponsored results as well. Right. That guy's paying a click. So you remember we did HP? What did we do? We typed in the word. Okay. Remember the first one should be, now look at this. Who's the first one there? Is that the same HP? Is that the same HP? Wait a minute. Let me ask. Yes, it is. Okay. By the way, let's go to CNN.com, one of the top 10 search engines, by the way, in case you didn't know. I'm going to type in the same thing. Ready? Now watch this. This is very important that you get this. If you get this, you graduate today. By the way, who's the first one? Now, I could do Alta Vista, but you get the idea. Why do they keep showing up on the same search engines? Like in the first position? They're different companies, aren't they? What happened was, Overture became such a powerful pay-per-click engine, Yahoo bought them. So Yahoo now owns Overture. But here's the good thing, is that Yahoo also turned around and cut contract deals with many of the smaller search engines, like CNN, AltaVista, and some of these others. But here's the thing, if you get this, you get this. If you rank and you pay for the first click on Yahoo, you also get the first click on CNN, AltaVista, every search engine out there. You realize there's hundreds of smaller search engines, right? Right? Google, by the way, Google is a separate program. But let me just make sure everybody gets the point that all of a sudden you become #1 on all these different search engines if you can afford to bid, right? So now, here's the interesting thing. Google has about 60% of the market, right? And they have a program called AdWords, similar program. Yahoo only has 25% of the market. So if they have only 25% of the market, you would have to multiply by 4 to get an estimate of the whole market. You see what I mean? So that's why you multiply that number by 4, because they're only 25% of the market. So you multiply by 4 to get an estimate. So the only two search engines you really should care about is Google and Google AdWords, Yahoo's Overture. But the fact that now you can bid and control the amount of traffic that comes to your site if you can afford to bid, you're perfect. In other words, that top position we saw for HP, if you wanted to be #1, it was really, no, it really wasn't. I'm going to show you. The max bid was 20. What it does is, but the real bid was like 279. In other words, instead of going in there, let me explain it this way. Remember eBay when you were about to buy something, 30 seconds before you were about to buy it, somebody sniped it, right? Because they put in a bid. They allow you to put in a maximum bid. And so if somebody comes in and bids 280, it goes to 281. Somebody bids 282, it goes to 283. All the way. It does it automatically for you. So if you pre-program it is what you do. Okay? So by the way, here go. Let's go back to the Overture so you can see it. I want you to really understand it. So you go back to Overture, you go to visit the resource center right there. Okay? And then you can do a service as well. Now, you see this bid tool right here? That's the bid tool that you can look at. And we had what? We did this, right? We did. And then what I want to do here is put that term in, 5F. Now let's look at this. I just want you to understand that it wasn't $20. You see that the maximum bid for the guy below is 310? That means this one is actually 311. Okay? See how it works? Because it's always a penny above. But if you go in there and bid 312, it'll automatically go to 313.
But you have to bid 2001 to be #1.
No. The max bid, ignore the max bid. The max bid is a convenience tool so you don't have to keep going back in and updating.
If you want to replace HP as the new #1, you have to pay 20.
Yes, you got it. My fault. Yes, if you wanted to be #1 over HP, you have to bid $20.01. You are correct.
Now, is that the price per click?
Per click. So every time you click it, you pay for it. So you got to know how much to bid, right? Now, real quick, here.
Does Google have the same Overture HP?
Google has the AdWords, and it has different rules for how it ranks you. So that's another half-day seminar. Okay? So, any other questions? By the way, I need... Okay. Yes, it always says. By the way, the results on top, the side, the bottom are always sponsored. But now, I'm going to show you something. Pay attention if you want it. This is a good idea. You really got to pay attention. Because let's say you can't afford to bid, right? You can't because some of the terms are too high. By the way, the minimum bid is 10 cents, right? So I'm going to show. Now, if you knew that for every 10 cents I can get $1, would you bid? Yes. Every time, right? So what we have to do is find words that are not normal. Let me, for example, you see this word? Is that spelled right? Scholarship?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Do you think people misspell words? Look at that. 195 times 453. By the way, that's an oxymoron. Bright future scholarship. so, by the way, if you multiply that by 4, by the way, people can't spell. Now, if I go in there, do you think those bids are going to be lower than scholarship with an A? Right? Because should we take advantage of people who can't spell?